Guess who's back? It's your boy Art, my sidekick Blow. Welcome to another edition of Time to Tell the Truth. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to miss this. This is a good program that we're putting on tonight. The name of this show is This Is How They Do It. Stop the steal. Okay, that enough said. You know what we're dealing with. It's on the back here, Blow.
You already know the Hippocratic Party.
Yeah, it's in full effect. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Blow, how come people don't see stuff?
Well,
I mean,
we don't want to see it. A lot of times we don't want to see stuff because we choose not to see stuff. Stuff will be right in front of our face, and we choose not to see it. Perfect example. When Trump in office, if gas is $1.50,
right,
and then it goes to $3 under Biden, don't nobody see that.
Right.
But if Biden got $1.50 gas and Trump got $3.50 gas, I believe everybody would see that. So I think we got to the point now where we just don't want to see stuff.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We as black people, and I'm speaking because I'm a black person.
All right.
We as black people, we got a way of playing slow.
Right.
We be on everything. You really can't get nothing past a black person, not too quick.
Right.
Unless somebody owe you some money and they go over here and try to walk past you and pay somebody else.
Right.
You go see that.
Right.
But then whenever it come to politics and when it come to political parties, we allow them to play on us and we just act like we don't see that.
Why we don't see it?
Because we don't want to see it. For the life of me, I don't understand how gas was $2.09, $2.19 under the president that didn't nobody like.
Right.
But now we got this man up under there, gas $3.50, $4, and ain't nobody seeing this.
Well, I mean, that's because their awareness not up. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say the awareness not up.
Well, I don't know how your awareness ain't up because ain't no way my awareness up.
Well, it's up when you go to the grocery store.
Well, it's up when I'm at the gas station.
All right.
Whenever I'm looking at the gas pump and they say $3.87 on it, and I know good and well I was just paying $2.49 for gas, I'm gonna see that.
Okay. Well, let's get into stop the steal. Let's get into that a little bit. Let's get in. Do you believe? Let me ask you a question, Blow. Do you? I'm gonna ask y'all a question too. Do y'all believe that black people can't obtain a vote ID?
Well,
is that a myth? I'm just saying, is that a myth or not? Can black people obtain IDs so they can vote?
I mean, you better have one. What can you do without it? If you get a piece of money, how you go cash the check if you ain't got no ID?
Yeah,
that's what I need to know.
Well, let me ask y'all another question. Is not having an ID illegal to start with?
You better have an ID.
If you get stopped by the police, bro, if you get stopped, you walking down the street, get stopped by the police, and they pull up on you and they tell you what they're gonna say. Let me see your ID.
Yep.
And can they not take you to jail if you don't have one?
Yes, they can. They will. To identify you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't have identification of you, they have the right to take you down there and identify you. That's what they do.
So they coming up. Hey, Emily, we see you out there. Thanks for joining in today. We see all of y'all out there today. Y'all keep on. Michael, we see you. We see you out there. We thank you for joining in. Thank you, Sierra. We see you out there for joining in today. Now, I want to know that how many people out there think that black people are too dumb, too ignorant, too stupid, or whatever to get a freaking ID.
I mean, you got to have ID for anything else.
Or do you think since these people feel like you don't need an ID to vote and you need an ID just to walk down the street, is that hypocritical?
Man, they treat black people like this right here. That's exactly what they're doing. They're treating us like grown babies that they make us feel like they owe us something. Now we have been behind mistreated in this country.
Right.
I agree with it. We have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we have not. There's no reason why we should feel like we need to be pacified in this country.
Right. Exactly. That's crazy. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah, I think you're the one for
that. That is crazy. I'm gonna say,
I see you, Reba Clark. I see you, Cornetta Moore.
Yeah.
Hit your share button, throw your cash app up. We see your cash app.
Yeah.
Highlight the post. Y'all know how to highlight the post. Y'all been highlighting them. Highlight the post for me. Put your cash app up.
Yes, sir. You know how to highlight at everyone if you got this. We see y'all in the queue. You know, we getting ready to get into some tape. Now, we getting ready to get into this first tape. This is about how they gonna steal, okay? Blow. We've been talking about people, they know how to steal. Everything that went on about the last election, it wasn't stolen, this, that, and the other. We're going to show you how they can steal it if they didn't steal it, okay? We're going to see if this makes sense. We're going to see if this makes sense tonight, okay? We get ready to show you the Attorney General of this country telling you that he's pissed off because people got to have an ID to vote.
I mean,
this is what this is.
You got to have a ID to do anything in this.
Yeah, but he's pissed off and he want to stop it because he don't want you to have an ID to vote.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So Tucker Carlson watched the State of the Union, and he has a very, very bold prediction. This is about 3 or 4 minutes long. Let's watch it. It's pretty wild what he has to say. Let's watch.
And so what this means is that underneath all of the talk is a dire political reality. Joe Biden can't win. In a fair election, Joe Biden will lose in November. He cannot win. That's the thing that nobody in any media wants to say out loud. In a fair election, Joe Biden cannot win. So they're saying the opposite. Here, for example, is the pre-game analysis over at MSNBC, which we watched while waiting for Biden to dodder up to the stage, waiting for the amphetamines to take effect. And keep in mind, as you watch this analysis, these are supposedly the smart kids. These are the smart kids, the ones with complicated glasses. These are the ones the White House looks to for guidance. And here's their analysis of Joe Biden's skills. Watch this.
This seems like a weirdly like a counterintuitive hot take, even though it's the most obvious thing you could say, which is that Joe Biden is good at politics.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Like Joe Biden is good at politics. He's very good at politics. Like the man really does know what he's doing. And you really see it in those sort of situations.
Joe Biden is just really good at politics. It's the one thing he's really good at. Really? If Joe Biden is so good at politics, why is he losing to Donald Trump, who the rest of us were assured was a retarded racist, who no normal person would vote for? But now Joe Biden is getting stomped by Donald Trump, but he's also at the same time good at politics? Right. Chris Hayes, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous lesbian in television. So again, they can't win, but they're not giving up. So what does that tell you? Well, they're going to steal the election. And we know they're going to steal the election because they're now saying so out loud. Here is the Attorney General of the United States, the chief law enforcement officer of this country in Selma, Alabama, just the other day. Listen to this.
The right to vote is still under attack. And that is why the Justice Department is fighting back. That is why one of the first things I did when I came into office was to double the size of the voting section of the Civil Rights Division. That is why we are challenging efforts by states and jurisdictions to implement discriminatory, burdensome, and unnecessary restrictions on access to the ballot, including those related to mail-in voting, the use of drop boxes, and voter ID requirements. That is why we are working to block the adoption of discriminatory redistricting plans that dilute the vote of Black voters and other voters of color.
Did you catch that? Of course, you're a racist. That's always the takeaway. But consider the details of what the Attorney General of the United States just said. Mail-in balloting, drop boxes, voter ID requirement.
That's racist.
The chief law enforcement officer of the United States government is telling you that it's immoral, in fact, racist, in fact, illegal to ask people for their IDs when they vote to verify they are who they say they are. What is that? Well, no one ever talks about this, but the justification for it is that somehow people of color, Black people, don't have state-issued IDs. Somehow they're living in a country where you can do virtually nothing without proving your identity with a government-issued ID without government-issued IDs. So they can't fly on planes, they can't have checking accounts, they can have any interaction with the government, state, local, or federal. They can't stay in hotels. They can't have credit cards because someone without a state-issued ID can't do any of those things. But what's so interesting is these same people, very much including the Attorney General and the administration he serves, is working to eliminate cash, to make this a cashless society. Have you
Yeah, I guess you got to be illegal not to be able to have ID to do anything else. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we're gonna show you how this show, if you miss this show, you're gonna miss everything. Because in this show, we're gonna show you a clip, not tip, but we're gonna show it in a minute when everybody get in the queue. Okay, we're gonna show you exactly how they do it. Okay, this is how they do it. That's the name of this show. Stop the steal. This is how they do it. This, if you wanted to know, if you ever wanted to know how they would get away with it, for all you people out there to know that it's nowhere in the world, even in Joe Biden's diminished state of his last term that we was talking about, that the man could muster up 15 million votes.
I mean, well, that's one part of how they steal it right there.
Yeah.
When they tell you that you don't have to have an ID to vote. So you telling me you bring in all these people from everywhere, and allow them, open up the floodgates to America, let them come in, and then when it's time to vote, don't nobody need no ID to vote?
Yeah, but you can't go nowhere without ID. You can't even walk down the street. If they ask you for ID and you walk down the street and you got it, they can take you to jail. Point blank. And that's done happened how many times?
I mean, you know good and well they go take you on their ride to identify you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's you. That's nobody else. You won't be identified. Oh, we got some clips for you tonight. Like and share the page. Call in at 704-449-6563. Put your cash apps up. You share the page, you get a cash out. Okay. I want to look at the most memorable night. Tonight. We giving $20 away. Okay. We giving $20 away for the person with the best comment on what we do tonight. Okay. It's just going to be the best comment tonight. That person absolutely will receive $20. Okay. Point blank.
So tonight we're going to show you how they do it. This episode is called Stop the Steal. Like I said, we just showed you one way. That's how they steal it. They let everybody come over here.
Right.
And then they tell you that they're trying to suppress your vote because they want you to have an ID to vote. But you can't get a job without ID. You can't go nowhere without an ID. You can't cash a check without an ID. I mean, if you're paying bills in your house, you got an ID.
Exactly. If you're on the corner, you got an ID. You can't even go buy your wine and liquor and beer without an ID. You need that ID. I mean, you can't cash a check. You can't do nothing. So you mean to tell me the top law enforcement officer in this country, in the United States, get on there and tell you that he's going to stop having to have an ID to go vote? Really? What do that mean to y'all out there? You just tell me that. What do you think about that comment?
I mean, I just think it's an insult to black people.
Exactly.
How dare you tell me that I can't even that somebody suppressing my vote because I got to have an ID to do it,
and I can't get one. Come on, man. If that's the case, how come you just don't tell everybody you can go down to DMV and get your ID? How do you get an ID? You know you got to go get your birth certificate and something else. Go get it. You had one. You done had an ID before. I know everybody out there, even if you living on the streets, you have had an ID.
Yep.
Because you couldn't do anything without it. Oh, man, this thing is getting
I want to know if there's anybody in the queue right now that think that you shouldn't have an ID to vote.
Yeah.
If you're out there right now watching, you know, while I queue up the next video, I want to know if there anybody watching that think that
you shouldn't have an ID. You shouldn't have to have an ID to go down and vote.
And then I'm gonna take it a step further. Is anybody on there thinking that it's suppressing the black vote by saying that you have to have one to vote?
Right. Do you think we being disenfranchised because they're saying we have to have an ID? Who out there thinks that we are being disenfranchised some kind of way because they ask you for ID to vote? I want to know that myself. Yeah. And this video coming up, you do not want to miss. I repeat, you do not want to miss this because this tells you everything.
All right, well, we about to get it queued up. We got the question out there right now. Is there anybody that think that you know, black people being suppressed from voting because they need an ID to do it?
Yeah.
You ready to go get this clip going?
Let's get it going.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, here we go.
About all these people coming across the border. They don't, because they don't care about their own citizens. So how does it, and so if you're illegal, we care about you. If you're not illegal, we don't care about you. No, it doesn't, that doesn't make any sense. We all know that that's not true. So what you're looking at here is an unmitigated disaster where a globalist policy on migration has been forced on the American people with the aim. There's one mistake that I think a lot of people make when I hear them talk about the border. Everybody says, well, the Democrats are doing this so that they get more votes. Okay, so people coming from a remote village in Guatemala who've never seen a doctor in their life, not only do they not speak English, they don't speak Spanish, they're not coming here to vote. Okay, they don't know anything about voting. They've never voted in their lives. What these people represent is the ability for people like in California, when you have the census, what do? They count. Every one of these sanctuary states counts all the illegal citizens, all the illegal immigrants in their country, in their states. And then they submit that. Well, what does that do? It increases the number of delegates that you get in the House. So what does that do? Well, that gives you the ability to control the House. And once you control, as we know, the House and the Senate, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, especially if you have the presidency. So it's really, really important for people to understand that it's not just about getting people to go and vote for Joe Biden. It's one, about the census and the delegates in the House, but it is also about what they do in these states is they count these people, register them to vote. Because to register to vote in a sanctuary city, you don't need you cannot be questioned about your citizenship. So you don't even know who's registering you. But then what they do is they submit it to ERIC, the electronic.
This is like a secret weapon. It's Arcade by Output, one of the greatest plugins that I've ever used. A lot of
registration information center that was co-founded by the Poynter Institute and Soros money. And these people supposedly are, centralizing our databases to help us clean them up. But guess what you can't do with ERIC? You cannot remove someone from the voter rolls based on their citizenship status. You cannot even inquire about their legal status. So what do? They now have you in the voter database. And why is that so important? Because when they cheat, the one thing they cannot have happen is they cannot end up with more votes than registered voters. So they have to pad those voter rolls to give them room to cover up how many votes they stole. And that's why they need to stop the count. That's why you have a water main break, or people just for some inexplicable reason just stop counting when we've never seen that before. Why? If you go back in history, don't take my word for it. Go back in history and look at the dates of the victory and concession speeches in presidential elections. And you will see that the vast majority declared their victory on the day or the next day after the election. And why could that not?
Yeah, Blow, let's recap that a little bit. Did everybody catch what she said? If you didn't catch what she said, we're going to play this again before the show is over with tonight. Okay, what she said they do in all of these sanctuary cities is that all these illegals that pour into their cities, they take a census on them, okay? They take a census count on everybody coming in. And what they do with the census count is they enter them into that ARIES system, okay? Which is the voter registration system. And once they get in that system, you cannot look in there. It's illegal to look in there and see who's in there, for one. And it's illegal to even question anybody's citizenship once they get put in there. Okay, okay. Now, once they do that, okay, when the election time comes, okay, and all this ballot harvesting and stuff get in, when they count the votes, okay, they have to have some kind of stoppage. Oh, you remember the lights going out in Georgia? Okay, do you remember Arizona where it was a glitch in the thing? That's all it takes is 2 states to win now. Okay, do you remember these outages and stoppages? That's the time they can upload the rest of these things. Because like the lady said, you can't have more voters than registered voters. So they put all those people in there to pad them, to give them room to do what they need to do. I told you I was going to tell you how they do it. This is how they do it, okay, in all these sanctuary cities. So if you think they can't cheat, I beg to differ.
And just like she said, you could go back in the history of all the elections.
Right.
They announced the winner the night of or the following day. The last election, the one that y'all swore up and down, Trump sent them people up in January 6th because they said they got cheated out of something. Yeah. Man, they ain't announced the winner of the election about 2-3 weeks later.
Right, exactly. Why? Because you got to have that time to put those things in there. I believe personally Biden got trounced the first freaking time. But I tell you what, it's going to be harder this time because people are getting up on what's going on out here now.
Yep.
They starting to realize and understand that these people over there, especially on the Democratic side, are no earthly good. And most of them on the Republican side. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Yep.
You know, most of them on the Republican and all of them on the Democratic side is no good. That is how they do it. That is how they steal it. Let's go over this one more time. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it one more time and we're gonna recap because this is so important, man, on how they do it. Everybody needs to be educated on this. Everybody. Yeah.
They don't care about their own citizens. So how does it, and so if you're illegal, we care about you. If you're not illegal, we don't care about you. No, it doesn't, that doesn't make any sense. We all know that's not true. So what you're looking at here is an unmitigated disaster where a globalist policy on migration has been forced on the American people with the aim, there's one mistake that I think a lot of people make when I hear them talk about the border. Everybody says, well, the Democrats are doing this so that they get more votes. Okay, so people coming from a remote village in Guatemala who've never seen a doctor in their life, not only do they not speak English, they don't speak Spanish, they're not coming here to vote. Okay, they don't know anything about voting. They've never voted in their lives. What these people represent is the ability for people like in California, when you have the census, what do? They count. Every one of these sanctuary states counts all the illegal citizens, all the illegal immigrants in their country, in their states. And then they submit that. Well, what does that do? It increases the number of delegates that you get in the House. So what does that do? Well, that gives you the ability to control the House. And once you control, as we know, the House and the Senate, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, especially if you have the presidency. So it's really, really important for people to understand that it's not just about getting people to go and vote for Joe Biden. It's one, about the census and the delegates in the House, but it is also about what they do in these states is they count these people, register them to vote, because to register to vote in a sanctuary city, you don't need you cannot be questioned about your citizenship. So you don't even know who's registering you. But then what they do is they submit it to ERIC, the Electronic Registration Information Center, that was co-founded by the Poynter Institute and Soros money. And these people supposedly are, centralizing our databases to help us clean them up. But guess what you can't do with ERIC? You cannot remove someone from the voter rolls based on their citizenship status. You cannot even inquire about their legal status. So what do? They now have you in the voter database. And why is that so important? Because when they cheat, the one thing they cannot have happen is they cannot end up with more votes than registered voters. So they have to pad those voter rolls to give them room to cover up how many votes they stole. And that's why they need to stop the count. That's why you have a water main break, or people just for some inexplicable reason just stop counting when we've never seen that before. Why? If you go back in history, don't take my word for it. Go back in history and look at the dates of the victory and concession speeches in presidential elections. And you will see that the vast majority declared their victory on the day or the next day after the election.
So why in the world do we have to have a count 2 weeks later? Is what the lady said true or not? I mean, come on. Hey, get your Glenn. We see you out there. Yeah. Why do you have to have a count this far later? That is the problem. That is what we're talking about tonight. Okay. That is crazy. That is crazy, man. That's how they steal. How can I just put somebody in the doggone voter registration? Should that be illegal? Should it be illegal, bro?
But they use us. They'll tell us that they're trying to suppress our vote by making us by saying that we have to have an ID to vote. But by us not having to have an ID to vote, they can cheat and say everybody they done let in the country in the last 3 years done went and voted.
Exactly. They can do that. All they have to do is put them in that Aries system, okay, and cause some stoppage, which we know that the stop counted down in Georgia. All of a sudden, you got a light outage. Man, come on, man. During a voting day, man, stop this. A water main broke down in Georgia or whatever they said happened. Now, what about in Arizona, where the computers just stopped working for a little bit? I mean, or somewhere else, they just stopped counting in this other area over here. Man, we heard all of that, man. And that's how you can upload all this trash and have enough to say that when these people was registered voters and you ain't even never know whether they was a legal citizen or not.
It's crazy.
This is crazy.
That's why they send more ballots to your house than people stay in there.
Exactly. They want to say that whether you was registered because you sent all those ballots. This is how they steal. This is how you steal. This is how they do it. They need to be exposed for what and who and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're exposing these people for what they're doing and how they do it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's how they do it. That's how they do it. For everybody who don't figure or don't know how they do it, that's how they do it. Tell me a better way, a better plan. Somebody tell me that they agree with putting everybody in the voter roll system if you're a sanctuary city without doing anything, without verifying who they is. You don't even have to be a citizen, and you go right into Aries. And by the way, that Aries system is funded by George Soros, for all of y'all who don't know who this clown is.
Yeah, that's the same person that when they have Black Lives Matter rallies, it's just a strategically placed pallet
of bricks sitting
on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's just a whole truckload of bricks right here. Hey, where did these magically come from?
Oh man, boy, we told you that on this show.
Yes.
These jokers down there trying to say Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, man. They got pallets of bricks just sitting there.
On every corner. Like and share the page, call in 704-449-6563. Right now, we're giving away $20 to the best comment in the comments tonight on what we're talking about.
Yeah, somebody highlight the post, man. Let's help send the post out.
Highlight the post on your page and send it out to everybody. Okay.
We're showing them how they do it. They steal.
They steal. And we're showing you how to steal. And we're showing you that we can stop the steal by exposing these people and the way that they're doing it and the way that they're going to try to do it.
Last election, man, they said 4 ballots to my house.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 ballots. They said, my bad. They said 8 ballots to my house. And there's only 2 registered voters in here.
Yeah.
And I went and voted down at the stadium. So that's 7 votes they had left to steal.
Right. I'm telling you. They sent 15 to mine.
Come on, man. If they ain't got no count on them, if they see the only one person in the house voted and they sent 8 ballots, they can just say anybody voted on.
Exactly.
The other 7 votes went to Biden.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is crazy. And I'm going to salute all our Black women out there that's coming to the knowledge and understanding of what's going on. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you. Yeah, y'all highlight it, and it goes out to more people, okay? Like and share the page. Make sure you share it. Throw your cash out up. You getting a cash out if we know you shared the page. We can tell when you share it, okay? Just highlight, man. Highlight, and it'll go out to everybody on your page.
Yeah, we're just trying to grow this page, man. We're trying to get this voice. I mean, this message that me and Art come and put out every week. I mean, it's just a message of we got to stop being tricked, man. Exactly. We got to stop letting people play us, man. We Black people. We always wish somebody would. We is not going to let nobody play us right to our face, but still we getting played right to our face. I don't understand.
Yeah, and you still don't see it. I mean, they bring people in, walk over you, give them everything, look at you like you crazy, act like you not even here. You ain't in the room no more. Not and they got this big trick we showing you. Why are we showing you this trick tonight? Because that you are irrelevant right now. Not when they can get millions of people in here, get them in these sanctuary cities, okay, and looking up. Oh, you just send you the money? Okay, who is that?
For not voting for him. Well, you don't got to vote for him because you paying for it anyway.
Exactly.
You the reason why I'm paying $1 more for gas.
Yeah, exactly.
But I respect how you feel, though. Yeah. I mean, I respect how you feel.
Absolutely. You ain't got to vote for him. I mean, I respect people can vote for it, but stop cheating. That's what I don't like. I don't like nobody who cheat.
I mean, like I say, if Biden won and they said Biden was the president Wednesday morning, I'm for that.
Yeah.
Because they got that done quick. But whenever they start talking about, oh, the vote, like he said, the power of the lights went out. They got a glitch. Oh, what about the people that mailed off their ballots Tuesday? Well, if you know that the election Tuesday and you mail off your ballot Tuesday, it don't count. Yeah, as simple as that. Right. It's deadlines for stuff, man. I don't understand what people be having going on.
Yeah,
it's deadline for stuff, man.
Exactly.
If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. It's a cutoff.
And you know it's a cutoff, and it should be a cutoff. We can't be waiting all this time to find out who won. You can do this in an easy, little, simple way.
I mean, I just want you all out there just to start keeping it 100, man, and quit doing all that faking. You know, when we was in school every time it was a president election, either that night when you went to sleep and you seen they had the two candidates up there and they had the little red and the blue showing you who about to win, who losing. The next morning, we knew who the president was.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We knew who the president was.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely knew who it was. And you know that's a problem. It's a problem, man, when we see stuff blow and we don't recognize it or we just refuse to acknowledge it.
Well, and then the biggest thing is when they use us to try to tell us that by not being announced on Wednesday, it's because they're trying to stop our votes from counting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not fair if you voted off a ballot, if you sent off a ballot in the mail on Tuesday, how that makes sense that it don't count? Well, how it makes sense if it ain't there by Tuesday, it don't count.
Yeah, you knew that. It's just like your bill. If it's late, they're gonna charge you. They don't care. If it's by Tuesday, you getting charged.
It definitely don't cost nothing to be 100. That's the only thing we ask them to do.
Exactly.
Just keep it 100.
Absolutely.
Like I said in the beginning of the show, we pay attention to everything that we want to and ignore everything we want to. Had Biden gas been $1.50 and Trump gas was $3, y'all will call it out.
Yeah.
But since it's the other way around, everybody just go keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
We just all right with paying $2 more in gas.
Yeah. As long as I hate you. As long as I hate you. You know, I don't care how it is. We done talked about it. Blow, come on, man. Your hair shouldn't be like that. You can't be president. Because your hair is laid to the side. We don't want you to be president. That don't look presidential to me.
Yeah, you're right. I got on 17 chains.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason.
Yeah.
And they supposed to be in the car with the Secret Service.
Yeah.
They're driving in front of the Secret Service car. And they in the drop top. Hey, with purple label on.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, we got another video. This is a bunch of black ladies. I send kudos out to these black women in this video. Why? Because they get it. They understand it. They're not dumb. They're not stupid. These women see it. And unfortunately, all our black women don't see it. I don't know what happened or where they missed it at, but they don't see it. They don't understand it. But I give kudos to these women right here in this video.
This event has been total haywire and incorrect. Of course, they tried to paint a narrative of President Trump being racist. So take a look at this. This is the first clip number 1.
I repeat, the insult of saying that black voters would in some way be enticed to support him because he had a mugshot like all of us are criminals, or to say that because he has 4 indictments, one of which, or really 2 of which, both Georgia and the federal, around him trying to rob votings when we had to fight, people were bloody, beaten, and killed to get us the right to vote. And one person, one of his supporters, got on Fox News saying, blacks love him because of the sneakers. So let me get this right. He didn't support George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Biden did, and signed an executive order. He didn't support the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. But we're supposed to go for sneakers and a mugshot. And those blacks that are standing there with him, have you no shame?
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Look, let me show. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for him to say this. When the left is apoplectic, I am ecstatic. And when I saw Al Sharpton, the right ready Rev over there, I knew this was nothing more than just media fodder. First of all, yes, I support Trump. I did it twice and I will do it again in 2024. Secondly, I have no shame. Let me ask you something, Mr. Al. Do you have shame? Have you paid back your taxes yet? Tawana Brawley, have you ever apologized to the officers in the state of New York? Have you ever apologized for that mess, literally the feces that you put on that young girl and used to further your career? You are the hustler, right, Rev? Get the money back and go apologize, and that will be the end of your shame, because right now you are still shameful. Your ass should be embarrassed at yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything more differently. I want to go to clip number 2. This is another take on the Black Conservative Federation's gala. This is Crybaby. We've talked about him before on the show. MSNBC correspondent Jonathan Capehart talking about it. Here we are. This is clip number 2.
Y'all, tonight at a rally in South Carolina, Donald Trump actually said this.
These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see? That's how far I've come. That's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it? The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing.
He only, who is he? Hallie James Almost? I see black people. I just wonder, did he see his African American out there in the lights? What are the lines do I have here? Oh, were they wearing his sneakers? The black people he saw in the lights. And as for that mugshot, come on now. Does he think he's Biggie Smalls? America, please share it with your Trump-loving friends. These clips, actually, they might like it. But have them understand why what we just heard is so unbelievably racist, but also problematic for a democracy. That man should never be president of the United States again.
Okay.
Should not be.
I want to go with you, Crystal. I mean, you hear what he said. Are you offended? Was that a racist remark?
Love me too. 45. Y'all, like, there is nothing. I love that he is just free to say whatever he wants to say. He made like a joke in front of a lot of African American people and blacks or whatever you want to call it. It was not offensive. They're making something out of this that is not. Exactly. What they're not talking about is literally early in February, the Biden robot president was in front of a room of black people as well. And I just don't understand why every single time that this man tries to connect or tries to get in front of the black community, they make something of it, y'all. Don't fall for it. It's fake.
T, I want to get your thoughts. I mean, should the black people be offended by what he said in those clips, President?
Why would they? All he saw was black people because there were only black people in the room.
I think those ladies hit it right on the head, right on the nail on the hammer. They made a big deal out of Trump saying that. He was at a gala for black people. All that was in there were black people. I see black people, that's all I see. Okay? But you see the black guy came on there with the spin job. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. That's how they keep tricking us, man. That's another form of stealing.
Yep.
That's another way you steal. Okay? That's how they do it. For everybody don't know, bro, that's how they do it.
Yeah, but that's no different than me and Art standing up there and they say we racist and the only thing we care about is the black voter. And then some kind of way we got white people to see that the only thing they're judging us for is the stuff that's not important.
Exactly.
And then we up there saying, dang, Art, they said we ain't have no white supporters. I don't see nothing but white people.
That's it.
That's all he's saying.
Exactly. That's crazy. That's all I see. Why? Because thank God it's people like those women that are waking up and seeing what's going on.
Like most of our viewers.
Yeah, our viewers too. Most of our viewers are waking up, and I like that. And it's our job to wake more people up so you can see through all the clutter. They put a bunch of clutter out there, and you just kind of try to make your way. I heard somebody telling me the other day, well, I don't know who to vote for. I vote ain't there one of them no good. That's just an excuse to me.
Well, it's definitely an excuse whenever you could just look back about 25, 35 years. Everything that's been put in place, this detriment to black people was put in place by the Democrats. You can't whoop your kids. And they go separated the family with welfare, AFDC, and locking people up for a dime rock, getting them 15, 20 years for nothing.
Taking prayer out of school.
Oh my God. The people definitely don't believe in God.
Yeah.
I asked the Democrat, do they believe that it's more than two sexes? Man, the man started telling me about seahorses.
Seahorses.
The man said, "Well, you know, male seahorses can have babies." Man, we talking about human beings. A man and a female.
Yeah.
Ain't no man got no business in the pool with no woman.
Right. Exactly.
Especially not racing.
Well, I mean, not even on the pool, on the basketball court, they done had them out there. Ain't no business in nobody giving the Woman of the Year award to a man up at the White House. These are all the parties that you're talking about. They doing all of this stuff. That's not helpful to nobody out here. I'm just telling you.
They took God out of school and put the man. They got the man in there gyrating everything he got in front of 2, 3-year-olds. But God can't come in there.
No, he can't come in there. That joker come in there and do everything Mama gave him, and all in front of your kids. And you supposed to be all right with that. Man. Like and share the page. Call in 704-449-6563. $20 to the best comment. I ain't seen no good comments up there yet.
No, I ain't seen too many up there. Throw your cash app up. If you highlight the post, throw your cash app up. We'll see your cash app. You can call in too. 704-449-6563.
We're going to show you a little bit more of this clip of what these ladies got to say, because they got some real important stuff to say out here. And we think it's worth saying. And like I say, kudos to these ladies.
Yeah, sneakerheads. Right, sneakerheads are going to purchase sneakers. Right, that's what.
I am very humbly asking if you could chip in $5, $10, or even $25. I know
They do. Absolutely.
And
go ahead.
sneakers are cute.
And to go back to, you want to talk about hypocrites. You want to talk about hypocrites and how these Democrats are such grifters, how they use race to get these votes. You look at Jesse Jackson. So back in 1998, 1999, Trump was honored guest at the annual Wall Street conference hosted by the Rainbow Push Coalition. That it was Jesse Jackson, DC's based multiracial, multi-issue progressive international organization. Rainbow Push Coalition is what they used to call it. In 1998, Jackson introduced Trump ahead of his speech at the conference. I was looking for the video because there's video out there. I just couldn't find it. I don't know if they scrapped it from the YouTube.
With these people for decades.
And he said Jackson introduced Trump, whom he called a friend, at the same conference in 1999, where this time he was invited to speak on the challenges and opportunities to embrace underserved communities. Trump was there. He was supporting this. He said, and this is what Jesse Jackson said. He said, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such one can miss his seriousness and commitment to success, which is beyond argument. This is what Jesse Jackson said about Trump.
But it's true.
He also said, when we opened this Wall Street project, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there.
Yeah.
He was acknowledging the fact that Trump, who was multimillionaire, maybe billionaire at the time, provided space for these Black entrepreneurs on Wall Street. He was giving him praise for it. And now all they want to do is talk about him because he's no longer Democrat.
Yeah, exactly. On the left, no good deed goes unpunished. Okay, exactly.
I'm still waiting on somebody to pull up me a video where where Biden ever did anything for anybody Black, okay, outside of being in office, which he never did. And put it this way, anything good for anybody Black, okay? I know he did the crime bill, but I don't call that good, okay? But can nobody show me anything of Biden outside of the White House, outside of politics, where this man has done anything for a Black person? There's Donald Trump out there at the Rainbow Push, making space, giving property to the Rainbow Push Coalition up on Wall Street. I mean, this is before the man even thought about being president, even talked about a president. And most of these jack-o'-lanterns out here, man, I'm telling you, man, I get tired when I see guys out here so lost that they can't do nothing. That's right, shaking your head. I'm shaking mine too, man, because the thing is pitiful.
Yeah, it's pitiful. I mean, we have showed you time and time again. The man hanging out with Oprah, Gayle, P. Diddy, everybody.
Yeah.
The man,
Muhammad Ali.
What they say about, what's her name? Maya Angelou, 80th birthday party in Mar-a-Lago. Trump hosted Maya Angelou birthday party.
Right. That's crazy.
What kind of racists to do that?
I don't know. The kind that they create. See, everything is being created, and you fall for the banana in the tailpipe. That's what you did. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe, and you don't know how to get out of it. I'm telling you, man, get out of that cycle they got you in. It's called you was propagandized, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were propagandized. You know,
and like I tell people, I like Trump. You know, I will vote for him again, but I don't like everything about Trump. I don't like when he started talking about Mars and sending money to Mars. I don't. All the money you send to Mars, you could then go take that money and then go cure homelessness.
Exactly.
Or anything. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with everything you do, but he ain't gonna spend it on no war.
No, and he ain't gonna just give it to everybody coming into this country illegal.
No, he ain't gonna let nobody over here illegal.
Right. And not only that, the man done more for black people than any other president ever done. And you had a black president. I can't get past that. I can't
don't
get
nobody
past
give him
that.
the props for that. He did more for black people than Obama did.
Yes. No props at all. You know, we had the savior Obama up here and everybody lewd and la-la over this man, and he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. When it comes to everything negative, it's always black people, man. It's always black people. Oh, well, they trying to do this to stop black people from doing this and stop black people from doing that. But then as soon as he gives somebody something, oh, it's for everybody. It ain't got nothing to do with black people.
Right.
Everybody got stimulus checks, but they act like the blacks ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, they didn't care. Man, it's not about all that, man. But we got to understand. Blow, I still want to play that clip one more time. The second clip we played explaining how this stuff is done. So everybody that's in a sanctuary city, if you're in California, if you're in Chicago, if you up in New York, okay, any sanctuary city, I think Arizona's one, any one of these sanctuary cities, Georgia, if you in these sanctuary cities, you have to understand this is what they're doing and this is how they're going to get it done. And you are becoming obsolete.
Yeah, they definitely want you to be obsolete.
Yes.
They're trying to get rid of you.
Exactly.
For real, for real. All right, here we go.
To care about all these people coming across the border. They don't, because they don't care about their own citizens. So how does it? And so if you're illegal, we care about you. If you're not illegal, we don't care about you. No, it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. We all know that's not true. So what you're looking at here is an unmitigated disaster where a globalist policy on migration has been forced on the American people with the aim. There's one mistake that I think a lot of people make when I hear them talk about the border. Everybody says, well, the Democrats are doing this so that they get more votes. Okay, so people coming from a remote village in Guatemala who've never seen a doctor in their life, not only do they not speak English, they don't speak Spanish, they're not coming here to vote. Okay, they don't know anything about voting. They've never voted in their lives. What these people represent is the ability for people like in California, when you have the census, what do? They count. Every one of these sanctuary states counts all the illegal citizens, all the illegal immigrants in their country, in their states. And then they submit that. Well, what does that do? It increases the number of delegates that you get in the House. So what does that do? Well, that gives you the ability to control the House. And once you control, as we know, the House and the Senate, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, especially if you have the presidency. So it's really, really important for people to understand that it's not just about getting people to go and vote for Joe Biden. It's one, about the census and the delegates in the House, but it is also about what they do in these states is they count these people, register them to vote. Because to register to vote in a sanctuary city, you don't need you cannot be questioned about your citizenship. So you don't even know who's registering you. But then what they do is they submit it to ERIC, the Electronic Registration Information Center, that was co-founded by the Poynter Institute and Soros money. And these people supposedly are, centralizing our databases to help us clean them up. But guess what you can't do with ERIC? You cannot remove someone from the voter rolls based on their citizenship status. You cannot even inquire about their legal status. So what do? They now have you in the voter database. And why is that so important? Because when they cheat, the one thing they cannot have happen is they cannot end up with more votes than registered voters. So they have to pad those voter rolls to give them room to cover up how many votes they stole. And that's why they need to stop the count. That's why you have a water main break, or people just for some inexplicable reason just stop counting when we've never seen that before. Why? If you go back in history, don't take my word for it. Go back in history and look at the dates of the victory and concession speeches in presidential elections. And you will see that the vast majority declared their victory on the day or the next day after the election.
Man, every time I see that, I understand more and more what we're dealing with out here. I'm telling you. I understand everything about what's going on and how they did it. And this is how they did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trump the only one did something for us,
but he's a racist. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The man gave his property on Wall Street. I can imagine. Could you imagine
what that cost, man?
What that cost?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. But he a racist. Wonder how they do that.
And Jesse Jackson ought to be ashamed of himself for speaking against somebody like that.
Exactly.
This man gave you his property to use on Wall Street, and you calling him racist and all kind of stuff. Come on, man, you dead wrong for that.
Yeah, you wrong
for
for
that.
that.
Never bite the hand that feeds
you.
you.
Exactly. Yeah, you do if somebody feeding you with the other hand. Hey, yeah, you got two hands. I got it coming from both sides, baby. Yeah, and if one stop, I got the other. Yeah, that's how that works. Man, the thing is crazy. That's how they planning on doing it. And I'm so glad that somebody was able to come out and say it to open this stuff up so they'll know we don't want no glitches. Ain't no glitches going on. Ain't no water main breaks going on. Ain't no machines messing up the day of. Did you see Arizona last time? The day of. I'm talking about the day of. They just stopped everything. The people couldn't even vote. They had to go somewhere. All of this stuff. Man, stop playing with me, man.
I don't get it. Have you ever tried to mail in a bill and the money ain't get there on time? By the time it get there, your lights gonna be off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And when they get to talking about black people, man, that's what we know better than that.
Exactly.
I know good and well if I want my vote to be there by the Tuesday of election day, I need to send my ballot off a week in advance.
Exactly. To make sure it gets there.
To make sure it get there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just don't understand it. I don't understand. I know it gets hard to swallow some of this stuff that me and Blow bring to y'all every week because you just can't never imagine that stuff would go like this or that they could even do something like that. That's how sinister these people are, man.
And watching the last video, I was thinking about that too. That's why they send us all the ballots.
Yeah.
That's why it's only 2 people that stay in my house that vote, and they send me 8 ballots.
Why do I need 13 ballots and there's only 2 people there?
And I'm gonna tell you why, because you got people that from this country that ain't got from other countries that come over here that ain't got no thoughts in their mind, ain't worried about voting.
Right.
They get put into the election
system.
They get registered to vote.
Right.
And then if I send in 2 ballots and the 8 don't get sent in, that's 6 votes. They can just assign to any party they want.
Exactly. And I know most of y'all didn't know. We're gonna tell you how this thing go again. Everybody illegal that comes into this country, okay, in any sanctuary city, they get automatically put on the voter registration roll and put into the Aries system. Even though they're not a citizen, they get put in there, okay, which should be illegal. I don't know why the Republicans and independents ain't screaming about this mess that they do, but if you don't run that state, you don't make the laws. They make the laws in that state because doggone California and Chicago and New York, all of these are Democratic cities. Thanks, black people. Okay, thanks to mostly them. Now they don't need you no more. They mostly, and you go down there and you vote for these clowns over and over and over again, the same clowns you put in office, then they get a stronghold over it and they make whatever laws they can. And you sit there and that's why you suffer. That's why California is just a place to go dump in. I'm sorry, y'all Californians, but you know how you living out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know how you
I mean,
living
they
out
got
there.
man, they got tent
Yeah.
mansions.
Yeah.
I mean, you ride down the highway, they got tents, man. They got tents on top of tents, windows
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
People outside, they ain't go hanging up clothes.
Absolutely.
Good gosh almighty.
Chicago, New York, you know how you living. And guess who got you living like that? The clowns you got in charge. And you go down there and do it every time. I mean, come on, man. You can't help but to know that you keep doing it to yourself. Then the first thing they want to do is complain about the white man.
You can't say, but I'm telling you. I mean, I turned on one street. We was in California. I rode down the street for about 3 miles straight. It's RVs with people in them on both sides of the road.
Absolutely.
So you telling me them people worried about voting?
Yeah, come on, man.
But they definitely registered to vote.
Yeah, I guarantee you they registered.
They definitely registered to vote.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
And if they ain't voting for themselves, then who voting for?
Somebody's voting for them, and you know who. As long as they can get registered, they can have that stack, just like the lady said.
We want to clear something up. We ain't really saying that they cheating, but we saying it's room for it.
Exactly.
And if it's room for it, then you got to believe it's happening. Especially when everybody on this live right now know. Growing up in the last 40 years of my life, it's been every election except for the last one and maybe the one with
Al Gore.
Al Gore, where I didn't know who the president was when I got on the school bus that next morning.
That next morning, you already
know who the president is on Wednesday, man.
Yeah, but every time now it's a glitch. They need that time, just like the lady explained. If you can explain this, if you can explain the water main break in Georgia, and if you can explain the machines going down in Arizona, okay, and if you can explain all these stoppages in all these other cities, Pennsylvania and all that, they just stopped counting. If you can explain all of this stuff, then I might be inclined to listen to you. But that's definitely room to see that.
Yep.
Okay. And I want to expose the room that's left to cheat. Yep. Not to mention, and when you get the government involved, like the clown we got, Merrick Garland, okay. Yeah. Like the clown y'all got as Merrick Garland, who's telling you you don't need an ID.
Oh, y'all knew Biden won. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. When you was growing up, you know good and well you knew who the president was the next day when you went to school.
Right.
If election was Tuesday, when you got on that school bus Wednesday morning, you know who the president was.
Absolutely.
Last election, they didn't announce the president about December. It was like December something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I say, it don't take that long to count votes.
No.
They've been counting votes in a day forever.
Absolutely. Florida count how many millions of people down in Florida? They had theirs that night.
So you telling me, let me ask you this. So you telling me in all the years of voting, ain't nobody ever tried to mail off a ballot on the Tuesday of election and it didn't count? I'm pretty sure that's happened.
Yeah, dead. Yeah, don't count for nothing.
It don't count. It's invalid. You didn't send it in time. It's rules. You have to abide by the rules. If you don't abide by the rules, then you can't just make rules.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing. They're just making rules.
Well, you got this man, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General for the United States of America, down in, I guess, Atlanta, in a black church, telling you your vote is being disenfranchised. I hate it when these clowns do that and trick black people. If you come to my church, I'm kicking you out. I'm going to tell you that now. You need to get on up out of there because I know you ain't no earthly good. Come down in the black church just to talk and tell lies. How you going to come to our church talking about my vote is disenfranchised and you can't pick a single person in the church that vote that's not ever counted, that ever wanted to vote, that didn't get to vote?
Exactly.
You mean you ain't got nothing no better to come to my church and tell me than to come to my church and tell me a lie?
I mean, exactly.
Man,
then you keep calling for that. Don't nobody black know not one black person that couldn't vote because their vote was suppressed.
Exactly.
But that's the only thing they preach every time. Oh yeah, Obama started glitching back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, you don't know one single person that actually wanted to vote that didn't get to vote. But here he is, you got a clown standing up in front of a how come he didn't go to a white church? Oh, I better not say that. You can't answer that.
And there's another thing. I find it oddly strange that all of a sudden it's okay for felons to vote.
Yeah.
Because they know who you're going to vote for.
Exactly.
If they didn't feel like you was going to vote for who they think you going to vote for, they wouldn't let you vote.
They wouldn't let you vote. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or they think they know who you're going to vote for.
Exactly.
The same people that put you in there. How about that? In most cases, that's who it is.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. How dumb can we be? That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. How dumb can we be out here, man? I'm telling you, man, it's messed up. We had some good comments, but we had one good one. We're gonna get to the one that who is that? Get you Glenn.
All right.
Trump the only one. All right, make sure you got your cash outs up. When y'all like and share the page, I hope y'all throw your cash outs up. Hey, we glad y'all joined in today. It's been a good subject. Look, if you missed this or your friends missed this episode, you definitely got to show them to you. If you want to know how these people are cheating, okay, look at this video. It's gonna show you everything you need to know.
Yeah, we just give you a quick recap. First thing they do, they say black people being suppressed from voting because we got to have an ID to vote.
Right.
So if they say it's okay for black people to vote without an ID, then anybody can vote without an ID.
Exactly.
Not alone the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people that came in the last 3 years.
Illegal.
All right. They're giving the other half.
Well, the other half is, and when you get in there and when you get over here, if you get to a sanctuary city, you automatically get put in the air system, okay? The air system is the voting system. You automatically get put in there if you're illegal when they do the census count. That's why they do the census count, so they'll know. Not only do the census count for the delegates that you have in your particular state, okay? It goes into that voter registration roll, and once you get into the air reads, you can't question whether nobody even a citizen or not. That's how it goes. You can't question whether they're a citizen. You can't even inquire about their citizenship. Okay, now, once that happens, why is that important? Because once they get in there, now they have padded the voter registration roll. All those people are registered to vote. Okay, so now when it comes voting time, okay, and it's time to vote, they're going to need some distraction to get all these people uploaded, okay? That they're going to have to stop it some kind of way. They're going to have to stop it, and they're going to have to upload these people. That's why you get a water main break down there in Georgia. That's why you get the computers go down over there in Arizona.
That's why you get Biden and all the Democrats coming on talking about they don't want black people votes to count. So we got to take time to make sure all the black votes and all the minority votes get counted.
Right, exactly.
That's what they doing. They cheating.
Yeah, that's what you call cheating. That's crazy. They pick up a bone like Chris Rock on Here to Stay. Yeah. Load you something.
Yeah, I'll come in and get something started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how they do it. We showed you how they do it. That's how they do it. Once you get into that system, you automatically register to vote, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen. And when it comes election time, okay, they need some stoppage to get them in there. Go back, look at all these places, all these cities that had stoppages during the election. Georgia. How the water main break and they stopped? Arizona, all the things went down. You had a couple more. Pennsylvania, they just stopped for no reason. They continued the next day. Really? Do you not know that it only takes one state with delegates to win an election, a presidential election? One state. That's how it's close. Biden didn't stand a chance the last time, and he don't stand a chance this time. We told you that at the beginning when you showed you the first video. Biden don't stand a chance. Don't everybody know this man is incapable of being a president? And they running around over here talking about, oh, he's fired up.
He's sharp as
He's
attack.
sharp as attack. Yeah. When? Who?
He clearly has dementia.
Exactly. And everybody can see the man got dementia. But you still got people, they even come on this show telling you, well, I'm voting for Biden anyway. I don't care. Yeah, I know it. You want some more pain. I get it. You want to lash blow. As you say, you want to lash
on your ass so bad. We wish we were slaves. We don't even do nothing with the freedom we got.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't do nothing with the freedom. We begging for a lash.
You want to lash. You want to get back under the thumb of somebody.
Yep.
That's what you want.
Yep.
That's why you want that. You want what Biden got to offer.
Everybody in this country black and free, and we can't put together $1,000.
Sure can't. Sure can't. Rub 2 pennies
It
together.
won't give a penny.
Hey man, we thank everybody. We love your comments. We like reading your comments. We like putting them up on there. Okay. Somebody just got $20 for the night for the best comment.
I got you, Glenn. I'm about to send out the cash apps in 1 second.
All right. Yeah. Hey, we thank y'all, but it's one thing for certain.
It's 2 things for sure.
We gonna tell the truth.
Because it's time.
And the truth hurts.
It's time to tell the truth.
Peace.
See y'all next week.